is which remind me of another thing too, everyone. You know the CPR doll, you know that people practice on. I think it's called Annie or something. This doll, the Annie doll. It's a CPR doll, you know, that people practice CPR on or whatever, like learning first aid. But this doll, everyone, I'll tell you the story of this doll. There was a woman. They don't know who she was. They found her in Paris. There's some river. There's some river in France, in Paris, and they found this woman, and she'd killed herself. She'd committed suicide. This woman, but they didn't know who she was. They didn't know who this woman was. This is all real. This is a CPR doll, and anyway, they made a mold of her face, trying to find who she was. With this mold of the face. Anyway, this toy maker became sort of obsessed with her, and ended up making. He was a toy maker, this guy, and he made a doll, and with her actual face, with the mold of her face, and that's what became the CPR doll. That I think it's called Annie. That doll. That's what they call the name. But she's been kissed more than anyone else on Earth. That woman. So the CPR doll, when you see that face, that's an actual face of someone, everyone. That's an actual face of a dead woman, that face. That's not just some random face someone's made. It's the actual face of that mysterious woman found in Paris in the river, everyone. Isn't that amazing? There you go, everyone. There you go. There's heaps of strange stuff like that. People going missing, everyone. Like strange stories and that. Talking about strange, everyone. I told this to Perry the other day. I know. I told this to Perry the other day, Brad. This was in I think it was in Melbourne. It was here, in Australia. There was a radio contest. Her name was Jessica Strange. And it really was strange, everyone. That was her real name too, Jessica Strange. There was a radio contest. It was called Hold Your Wii for a Wii. You know, the Wii gaming console thing. It was called Hold Your Wii for a Wii. And what people had to do, they got 5 contestants. It was all on the radio, all this. All recorded and everything. And they got them, they put these 5 people in a room. And Jessica Strange, or Jennifer Strange, or whatever her name was, she was one of the contestants. She ended up coming second. She didn't even win. She didn't even win, this girl. But they put 5 people in a room, and they said, all right, every 5 minutes you got to drink a bottle of water or something. You know, they just had to keep drinking water non-stop. And the person who could hold their Wii the longest would win the Wii system thing. Anyway, this Jessica Strange, they're talking to the people. It was all set in a different room, so it wasn't in where the radio hosts are, but it was in the room next door or something. And the radio hosts are saying asking, you know, how are you feeling? And this Jessica Strange girl, some of them said, oh, I need to go to the toilet. No. It's pretty dangerous too. But I know it was a dumb competition. Yeah. They didn't really think much into it, but they were saying asking the people how you feeling. It's real, yeah. This really happened. It was on news reports and everything. All these stories I tell today, Brad, you can Google all of them. Google them all. They're all real. It's all not made up. It's pretty crazy stuff. But anyway, they were asking people, and someone said, "Oh, I have to go to the toilet. I can't hold it." And they left and that. And then this Jessica Strange, they talked to her and said, let me get rid of that thing there. And they said to her, "How do you feel?" And she said, I'm feeling pains, abdominal pains. I feel like there's something wrong here. There's something seriously wrong." And she was saying, "I think I need help or something," you know. She was in a lot of pain and that. She said, "I feel like I'm going to pass out and all this." And the radio hosts are laughing. They thought it was really funny. And they said, "Oh, it's only because you need to go to the toilet. Ha." She died about 3 hours later, or 6 hours later after that competition. She didn't even win. She came second. Someone else won, but she died about 3 hours later. She drowned. She drowned herself basically from drinking so much water and holding it all in. was so weird. That was that really happened. That was only a few years ago or something that happened, like a couple of years ago. Jessica Strange, I think her name was. It was strange. It was strange, everyone. But yeah, there's been a lot of things like that they've done on. They've done radio competitions, and people have been seriously injured. It's pretty crazy. It was strange. The family, because she had kids and everything. She was married with kids and everything. She drowned, basically. That's how she died. But the family sued the radio company, you know, and sued the radio host for not stopping it. Like he was laughing, thinking it was funny. Like he probably didn't know that she was going to die, you know. But like if the person's saying I'm having abdominal pains and I'm in serious agony here, like you'd think you'd stop it and like get medics in there to check on her, but they didn't. They were just laughing, thinking she just needed to go to the toilet. But she died in the end. It was only a few hours after it died. So she gave up her life for a Wii console thing that she didn't even win in the end anyway. That's crazy, isn't it? I was going to talk about deep web stuff too today, but I might talk about that on Monday, everyone. The deep web stuff. There was a guy I used to watch on YouTube. I can't remember. This is years and years ago now. There was a guy I used to watch, and he used to it's not Takedown Man. Takedown Man, he's pretty good, that guy. Like he tries to expose and that's some of these deep web things. But it was another guy. I've forgotten his name. It was only a small channel too. But he had to go into hiding in the end, this guy. But he was trying to expose like Red Rooms. Red Rooms is like where they're live streaming like like killing someone or whatever. Like it's crazy. But he was like he exposed a lot of them. This guy, like good on him. This guy for doing that. And but he got caught in the end. Like one of these things, like they caught this guy and threatened to kill him. He had to go into hiding and everything. This bloke. Like, it was pretty brave stuff he was doing, but he was like a hacker or something. Like he wasn't a hacker, but he was like very smart with computers, like stopping them from like finding him. But they found him in the end. It was crazy, everyone. Crazy stuff, baby. Oh no. But I won't tell you. I won't tell you some stuff about that until Monday on my very scary stream, everyone. Because there's some fucked up shit on the deep web, everyone. Like skull fucking people. Have you heard of this, Brad? Skull fucking? It's where you drill a hole in someone's head and literally fuck their brains out. It's disgusting. Like I would never want to see something like that. But some people, this guy said he was It was a story, and you know, there's a thing on. There's like a Twitch. I know there's Twitch on the deep web, but it's like an evil version of Twitch. But it's Twitch where they have like popular channels. You can subscribe to them and follow, and you know they like all this sort of stuff. But it's what they're doing is they're like they got like someone in a chair. You know, like they're covered up in that, but you can donate money and things. It's just sick. But they got like someone in a chair. This is what this guy was saying. They had someone in a chair. Let me get rid of this ad, Brad. Oh my god, there's so many ads on this mix. It's so good, this mix, but so many ads. Boom. They got this guy on a chair. It was like a kid or guy or something on this chair, and someone donated money to cut his foot off, and they cut the foot off. They cut kid or teenager or whatever his foot off on this live stream. And he said he was reading the chat and people are saying fap, you know, like fapping, you know, like masturbating, whatever. And people are like giggling, laughing, saying this is amazing, you know, like that's sick. But it's scary to think there's people like that out there, you know, out there doing this sort of stuff. It's like Twitch, but it's like an evil version of it. It's on the deep web. I don't know. I would, even if I could get on the deep web, I would never want to go on there. Just stuff is just so gross. It's disgusting. Some of the stories I've heard. There's bad people, and then there's just like pure evil. Like a bad person, I would say, is like the Iceman. Have you heard of the Iceman? Richard Kuklinski. He was like he was a hitman for the mafia. They did an interview with him. It was a very famous interview. It was called The Iceman and the Psychiatrist, and it was a very famous interview. That was his name, the Iceman. His real name was Richard Kuklinski, but he was an American guy, but he was like a hitman for the mafia, for one of the mafias. But he was like, he was like bad to the bone. This guy, he reckons he killed like over 200 people or something. He ended up dying in prison. I don't think they executed him. I think he died from something else. And the only person that went to his funeral, because he was married with a couple of kids, the only person that went to his funeral was his daughter, because she still loved him. It was still her father, whether he was bad or not, you know. But the son or whatever, or the other daughter didn't go, and the wife didn't go. Like, nobody went, only her. That was his name, though, the Iceman. But the interview, like, he talks about how he like was cutting. He was a sociopath. He had no emotions at all. He didn't feel sad. He didn't feel love, hate, nothing. He didn't feel anything. He said he remembers cutting up a body while he's eating pizza. He was eating a pizza while he was cutting someone's body up. It's pretty bad. But he would say yes, I was a hitman, but I wouldn't kill women or children. So at least he had some sort of morals, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't pure evil. Like, he was bad, like very, very bad, but he wasn't pure evil. Where like some of these people on the deep web doing shit like this, like he wouldn't be skull fucking people and stuff like that. That's just sick, crazy stuff. But he was saying that they were asking like all the different ways he'd killed people and that. And he said it's all real, this guy. They made a movie about him too. I forgot what the movie was called, but there was a movie that was made about him as well. It was like very cold-hearted, this guy, sort of thing. And he reckons he went to a nightclub to kill this person. Like, he was paid to kill whoever this guy was. And the guy went down an alley or something. He followed him down the alley, and he reckons he was like having a smoke and talking to this guy. And then he wrapped something around his neck, this guy he was meant to kill, and he put the cord on his shoulder and leaned forward and hung the guy like this. Hung the guy this way and killed him that way. But it was just crazy stuff. He wouldn't kill women and children. He hated people that would do that. And he said that once this man came and said, I want you to, I can't remember who the man was, but he said, I want you to kill my wife and my kids. I want you to kill them. You know, I think he wanted the money or something, like the life insurance or whatever it was, this man. And he said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. And the man sort of threatened him and said, no, I want you to kill them. So he said, okay, I'll kill them. I'll kill them then in the end. And he ended up killing that man. He killed them. He didn't kill the family. He killed that guy in the end. I think he went to get the money off him and killed him in the end. So he wouldn't kill so that man wouldn't kill the kids and that, and the wife. So we had sort of some morals, you know, this Iceman guy. You know what I mean? But there's some people that are like pure evil, much worse than him, much, much worse. He was saying that this guy, he was saying too, not the Iceman, but this is this deep web guy. He was saying like people were saying like, who are the majority of the people that are on this deep web doing all this stuff? And he said it's like you'd think it'd be white people. Like that's what I thought it would be. It's not being racist or anything. Like that's what I thought it would be. Like mostly white people doing all these things, like maybe black people or something. That it was Hispanic people. It's mostly Hispanic people doing the deep web stuff, like doing these murders and things. Oh my God, it's crazy, everyone. I didn't know who it would be. I thought it'd be white people more than anyone else, but it's not. Isn't that crazy, everyone? Crazy stuff, baby. It's very crazy. Oh no. Let me see, everyone. Oh, that's right. That's another thing. Boom. There was a family disappeared, Brad. I don't know if you heard about this. It was an Australian family. What was their name? I can't find their name. Oh, Trump family. That was their name. The Trump family. Not Trump, but Trump. The Trump family. And they all went crazy. They all went a bit crazy, this Trump family. And then they yeah, I don't know anything there. But they were called the Trump family. This Australian family, Brad. It was crazy. And they all they all went ran away from their house. It was three kids, and they were older, these kids, in their 20s or something, mid-20s or whatever. These three. There was a son and two daughters, and then there was the parents, and they all went into this mad panic of hysteria, and got in the car and disappeared because they reckoned that the people were out to get them or something. They were I don't know what it was. It was something weird. There was people trying to get them or something. So they went missing. Anyway, one of the son, I think it was the son or one of the daughters, ended up snapping out of this thing, and this is crazy. What are we doing? Because they all went crazy all together. It was so weird. And then one of the daughters snapped out of it and went, no, this is something wrong here. And she went back home and told the police that a family of, they'd sort of gone missing and that. Even though she just come from them, she knows where they are, but she said they've gone missing or whatever. And then the other two kids, the son and the other daughter, they stole a car and drove back too, and told the police everyone's gone missing and that. Their parents are still missing. It was so weird. And then they found the parents, and they were had amnesia. They didn't know who they were or where they were or anything. They couldn't remember anything. It was both of them at the same time. And then then one of the daughters, I think it was the first daughter that escaped from all this madness. She went missing, and then she was found in the back of a delivery truck. It wasn't the man who'd put her there. She just got in there herself, in the back of this delivery truck. And she was in a catatonic, what's it called, catatonic state, the same as the parents. Didn't know who she was or anything. It was all of them. It was so weird. It was so weird that they just didn't know. They didn't know who they were. Half the family just couldn't remember who they were, and it was strange. There was a lot of stories like that. There was another family. I saw this TV show. I can't remember what the show was, but it was another family, and it was. I know it's weird. There was another family, and this was an American family. This one I'm telling you now, but the husband was an arsehole. No, they don't know. They don't know what happened to him. It was just an unsolved mystery. They all just lost their minds. They don't know who they were. They all got amnesia. One getting amnesia you can understand, but three of them, half the family, all getting it in the same day almost. It's weird. They did tests on them and everything. They don't know what's wrong with them. It's just there's no explanation for it. It was weird. There was another family. This was on a TV show I watched. It was an American family, and there was the wife. And she had... Now, let me just check this, Brad. Oh, it's finished. All right. Boom. Let me put on... I'm going to try and find this mix, Brad. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to find this mix, my brother. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, Brad, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. And we're going to find it. We're going to find it, and I have to look. What's it called? What is it called, baby? Hang on, let me see. Boom, boom, boom. It's a good mix, this one, Brad. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you, my brother. That's what it's called. Oh, I'll put this mix on. Dark. Where'd it go? Dark, heavy. Synthwave, because this music is called like retro wave sort of thing. How do you spell his name? DeLorean. Is that how you spell it? Alright, let's have a look, Brad. Boom. This is it here. This is it, my brother. This is all like 80s stuff. With synthwave. This is all 80s horror movies. Oh no. But this woman, Brad, now she was married to this guy. He was a bit of an arsehole, this guy. And they had like a couple of kids or something. And the husband was saying, the husband was saying like, your father, this is to the wife, like, which is the grandfather, used to molest you. And he didn't. He never did that. And she used to say, no, he didn't. Why are you saying this? And the husband would just keep saying it. You don't remember, but he molested you, your father, whatever. And she thought, this is crazy. Like, what are you talking about? He never did that. But then he kept going on and on about it, the husband. So, like, the husband had just gone a bit mad. But he went on and on about it for so long that in the end, she believed it, that her own father had been molesting her when she was a child. And it was not true at all. He just made it up, the husband. And then the kids all started believing it. And then it went from all that to they'd planned to kill the grandfather, the whole family, like the kids included and everything, like young kids, like they were going to kill this grandfather over all this. It was crazy. But then I think one of the kids ended up snapping out of it and saying like Grandpa never did that to you, did he, Mum? And she said no, and then she sort of like woke out of it and said no, he didn't do that. And they ended up like trying to stop the husband. I think he killed himself in the end. The husband, he tried to kill the family and killed himself, and it was just crazy. It was all because he just made up some lie, and it went from that to like almost killing somebody. It was crazy. It was crazy, everyone. It was so strange. It was so strange. There was a thing, Brad. There was a thing in it was in America somewhere. Like these are all true stories too, Brad. It's called the Oregon hallucinations. Have you heard of this, Brad? Oregon hallucinations. This happened this was on October the 12th, 2016. So this is only like pretty recently. There was a 911 call came in. It's called the Oregon hallucinations. This is real. This. I don't know how far Oregon is from New York. I don't know much about like where states are in America. I'm pretty dumb like that, Brad. But it was like now they got a 911 call. It's true from a 57-year-old woman. She was a carer. She was caring for like some 70 or 8 woman across the country. All right, but this 57-year-old woman. So she was a carer, but she was looking after like some 78-year-old woman or something like that. Was her job anyway. But anyway, she rang up and she said, "There's 8 men on top of my car, and they're trying to rip the roof open of my car and kill me. Like they're trying to get me." So the police went down. It was 2 police officers went down there, and they went there and like there was no one there. There was no men on the roof. They checked everything. There was like no one had been there. She was hallucinating, this woman. Well, that's what they thought anyway. And so they left. And then about like 10 minutes later, she rang back again and said, "I'm not kidding. They're on my car. These 8 men trying to get in." So these same policemen went back in the end, and let me just check this. Boom. So they went back in the end. These 8 policemen, two policemen, and there was no one there. So they got this woman. They put her into these are the policemen. They took her to like a psych ward or something, and like to get her evaluated. Anyway, there was a nurse there, and the nurse was sort of looking after her and doing all the tests on her and evaluating her and everything. And there was nothing wrong with her. She wasn't on any drug. She was mentally stable. She wasn't crazy or anything. So they couldn't understand that. Okay, so this is the nurse. So she went, no, the woman's actually fine. She's not on drugs, drunk. She's not hallucinating. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Why she's saying that happened. So they let her go. This woman. And then about 2 weeks later, those two policemen, or 2 police officers, the nurse and the 78-year-old woman that she was looking after, caring for, they all started acting strange, like showing strange behaviour. And then they all went crazy, like her, like that woman. This really happened. They all went, they became like her, saying that people were trying to get them and things, and went like hysterical. These are the 2 policemen. It was everyone that dealt with her, that woman. And they thought maybe she had something on her that like put out like an odour or something. Like, I don't know how it's going to affect you after 2 weeks after seeing this woman. But they thought maybe she had something on her that like affected them somehow, because they all went crazy. All those people, basically on the same day, all went from acting strange, like the 2 policemen and everyone. They ended up in the mental place themselves, like saying that there was people trying to get them and that. It was so strange. But they did some tests on this woman and that, and no, they did tests on the police clothes, on their clothes and that, thinking that there might be like find some contaminant things on there, that affected them, and there was nothing. There was nothing on there. They did tests on the policeman, on the nurse. There was nothing in their body, nothing. They don't know why they were acting like that. It was just like a mass hysteria. It was so strange. It was called the Oregon hallucinations. That was a real thing. That was 2016 that happened, October 12th. It was strange. It was like a... It was a thing that happened, where did that happen? I can't remember. I think it was in France. This happened, Brad. There was a dancing thing. It was called a dancing... I know! It was real. The 2 policemen, the nurse and the woman she was caring for, all went crazy. They all became her. They don't know what it was. There was no explanation for it. It was strange. It was strange. And the video and music playing in the background is good too. Goes with my stories, Brad. There was a thing in France. This is like 100 years ago or something. There was a thing in France, and it was called the dancing plague. I don't know if you heard of this, the dancing plague. There was a woman. There was a woman in France, and she started dancing in the street. But this is true. This really happened. She started dancing in the street, for no reason, just for the hell of it. But she was dancing non-stop, like without sleep or anything, like just eating, like dance non-stop. This woman, and then people thought, oh, it's a bit weird, But then a few people like started joining in with her, like dancing with her. Like this is in the like middle of the street in France. Then some other people started dancing with her, and then after like a month of this dancing, there was 400 people dancing, and nearly all of them died from dancing too much. It was so weird. They were dropping dead from heart attacks. Like they were dancing themselves to death, basically. Like 400 people. They were all strangers. They didn't know each other. It was because this one woman started dancing in the street non-stop. They all just joined her. People were dropping dead from heart attacks, exhaustion, dehydration, because they weren't drinking or eating or sleeping or anything. They were just like dancing non-stop for days or for weeks. But it went on for a month, this. I know, yeah, but they were dancing non-stop. It was like a trance, like they were in a trance or something. But they were literally dancing themselves to death until they died. They would stop dancing when they died. That's when they would stop, Brad. It was like 100 years ago this happened. But that really happened. And it started from this one woman just dancing crazy in the street. And then it went from that to 400 people dancing till they died. Like, that's so strange to me. It's so strange. That was true. That really happened. I love 80s music. Not 80s music. I like some 80s music. But 80s movies, the horror movies from the 80s. I reckon that was so cool, Brad. Boom. 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 It was so good. It's so strange, isn't it, some of these people? You know, did you hear about this? Did you hear about this? Yeah, I know the. Actually, I'll tell you another thing that's sort of similar to that. There was a This happened too. This is in America. Most of these stories are from America too. There's some of them from France and Australia, but most of them are American stories. But there was a This is true too. There was just this weird family. I don't know what was wrong with them. It was at an amusement park in America somewhere. But there was a family. There was a father, mother, I think a son, and like 3 daughters or something in this family. And the father went on this roller coaster at this amusement park, and he committed suicide. He jumped off the roller coaster or whatever it was, killed himself. This guy. It was on purpose. He committed suicide. This was the father of this family. Did all this, and like all the kids are like, you know, like teenagers or like in their 20s or something. So like they're like adults, you know, the kids. They're not like young children. So the father jumped off this roller coaster or whatever, killed himself with this bloke. It's so weird. But anyway, so and then the next year, so that was weird. But then the next year, this is on the same day, exactly 1 year later. I think it was the daughter went on that same roller coaster and jumped off and committed suicide. The same day, exactly 1 year later, and killed herself the same way as the father. And then exactly 1 year, the same day, I know, 1 year on the same, this is true, this really happened, this is a true story. 1 year on the same day later, you know, the mother went on the roller coaster, jumped off and killed herself. 1 year, same day, the son jumped off the roller coaster, killed himself. 1 year, it was the whole family. There's only one daughter left, and she's still alive today. This happened like, when was it? Early 2000s, I think. I think it was early 2000s this all happened. Something like that. It was like a while ago now. But there's one daughter that's still alive. And she doesn't even know herself why the family all did that. She doesn't know either. She's the last living member of that family, I think. I'm pretty sure. I only heard bits and pieces of this story, so I don't know the entire detailed story. But there's like one daughter left, and she's the only one that didn't do this, and she doesn't know either. She doesn't know why either. They all killed themselves, and it was the same way, exactly on the same day, 1 year later. Each of them would kill themselves. They would take turns jumping on this roller coaster and killing themselves. It's so weird. Like there's some weird families out there, everyone. Like really weird. It's so strange. Like these stories are all real. I'm not making them up. I'm not making it up. I'm trying to think of the other families. I forgot what the other one was. I forgot what it was. Yeah, let me have a look. Boom, boom, boom. I can't remember. You know, there's a suicide thing on I don't know if it's on the deep web or if it's just on like the regular internet, but there's like a forum you can go to if you want to kill yourself. Like Like, if you want to commit suicide, you can go on this website or whatever. This is a real website. I'm not making this up. I don't know what it's called, though. But you can go onto this website and find other people who want to kill themselves. And then you can, like, meet up and kill yourselves together or kill each other, you know? Like, it's very weird. It's like that. It's like, this is when, like, you wouldn't think there's websites like that out there. There was a guy, because I only know about that because there was a guy who used to go to this website to find these suicidal people and say he wants to have a friend to, you know, meet someone, have a friend, commit suicide with, you know, from this website. But he wouldn't kill himself, this guy. He'd kill them, this guy. And and then he'd say, like, if he got caught, you know, he'd say, oh, well, they wanted to kill themselves anyway, I just helped them out, you know, sort of thing. Like, he thought he was doing them a favour, you know. Like, if you're doing him a favour, you'd be trying to stop them from killing themselves, you know what I mean? But that's the only way I know that. It's like there's cannibal forums. I don't know if anyone heard about this this cannibal guy. I forgot what his name was. What was his name? I forgot what his name was, everyone. But he went on the deep web and he went on, what's it called? I've forgotten, but it's some cannibal forum thing, like a chat room, you know, for cannibals, like real cannibals, you know. And he went on there and he said, I'm looking for someone to kill and eat. I'd like to eat someone on this forum, on the deep web or whatever. And this man said, yes, I would like you to kill and eat me. Like that's just weird. That's like, he couldn't have been all there, this guy. I don't know. But he said, yes, I'd like you to kill and eat me, please. Like, willingly he was doing this, you know, this other man. Anyway, they met each other. I think they made a movie about this too. There's like documentaries on this and everything. It was so weird. But then they met each other. Has anyone heard about this? I forgot his name. It was in Germany. I think it was in Germany this happened. And then, I think it was called a Cannibal Killer or something. I forgot what it was. But this guy, he went, cool. Scary, everyone. Very scary. But this guy, he met this guy who wanted to be eaten, you know, and killed and eaten. And they met at the cannibal's house. And this guy, I think he owned, like, he had a bit of money. I think he lived on a farm or something. But they asked him, they interviewed him, and they said, like, what happened? And he said, oh, we had a meal together, you know, or something, and we listened to some music and drank some wine together, you know, me and the victim. And like, this is, remember, the guy went there willingly to be killed and eaten. Like, weird. So anyways, he said, we went to the bathroom and we cut the man's penis off. We cut his, like, and then he said, then we both tried to eat his penis. Like, we cooked it and tried to eat his penis. Like, the guy, like, he got his own penis cut off and then tried to eat his own penis as well. Like, it was so weird. And they said they couldn't eat it. It was too chewy or something, the man's penis. It was too chewy and they couldn't eat it. And the man was bleeding out. Like, he was bleeding out and everything. And then he cut other bits of this man off, you know. And, like, that's, like, even the victim's trying to eat himself as well. It was so strange. And then eventually he said that the guy was just in too much pain or whatever. And so he eventually killed him. I think he killed him or something, the victim in the end. And then he ate him and all this, and it was so strange. But he only went to prison for like 6 months or something, the cannibal, because the guy was willing to be killed. It was like consensual murder sort of thing, you know? Like, he didn't actually murder the guy. The guy said, I want you to kill me. So I think he only went to prison, and it was for like manslaughter or something. I don't know what it was. But he only went for like 6 months or like 6 years. It wasn't very long at all, this guy. It was strange though. But there's websites on they might even be on like the regular internet. It's like cannibal and weird shit going on. It's so strange. It's so strange to think there's people out there that really enjoy this sort of stuff. I don't understand who enjoy it. It's like people who eat poo and stuff. I'm not scared, I know. It's like people who eat poo and all this. Like that's a fetish for some people, eating someone's shit. Like or being shit on. I don't know how you would enjoy that, but some people do. Some people enjoy it. It's so weird. It's so weird, everyone. And there was the other thing I was going to talk about was oh, that's right. It was a. Oh no, this was very scary. The video as well, everyone. I love the 80s horror movies. This is so cool. My favorite horror movie is Dawn of the Dead, the original. That's my favorite horror movie. That's where the zombies are like the people are trapped in a shopping center, like a shopping mall. And the zombies are in there trying to get them. It's such a good movie, though. The original, though, I like the remake. The remake is good too, but the original's the best one. It's like from 1979 or something. That's my favourite horror movie, everyone. And VHS, I don't know if anyone's ever seen the VHS movies. They're great, everyone. They're so amazing. Anyway, everyone, let me think of a little... Oh, that's right. There was this guy. He was selling a... he was trying to sell a mummy. I don't know where he was trying to sell it. I think he might have been trying to sell it to like someone, or maybe a museum or something. I don't know. But he was trying to sell a mummy, and it was in a tomb and everything. This mummy, and so they so the police sort of like found this guy, and they did tests and that, and they found this mummy. He said the mummy like it was after some hurricane or earthquake. He said the mummy just like appeared out of nowhere, like just came from out of the ground after this earthquake or whatever. And he said, I'm just trying to sell it. I don't know. I don't want it. Anyway, they did tests on this mummy, you know, and they found that the tomb the mummy was in was like from that era, you know, from when mummies were around or whatever. And he said, and then the bandages that the mummy was wrapped up in was, you know, thousands of years old too. Like everything was legit. And then they did like tests on the woman. It was a woman that was the mummy. They did tests on her. She died in 1996. This woman, that was the mum. She was mummified and everything, mummified, and in a 1,000-year-old tomb with 1,000-year-old bandages and that. But she died in 1996. They don't know who she was. I don't think this woman. It was weird. But she'd been mummified and everything, and she was like deep under the ground, and she'd only come out because of like this earthquake or something. Isn't that weird? There was no explanation for it. So, I mean, obviously someone's mummified her and like